Alright, so real quick, I want to fix up the directions on our character right now when we walk. It kind of goes like that. It doesn't play the animation, it doesn't rotate. So we'll go ahead and fix that up real quick. Basically, what we want to do is, let's see where I'm at here. Okay, so we've got our movement functioning. Not quite sure why I set this up like this, because we'll just disconnect movement. Bring him here, bring him up here, that way it rotates properly. Okay, so basically what I did here, I set up a branch that checks based on our calculation for the movement up here. The X, Y, and just the X and Y, obviously, because the up and down is the. We've got greater than 0.1. When true, I'm setting the rotation to 0, which would be forward. And this is pretty much what I have it set up as now. Less than negative 0.1, we have negative 180 on the Z. Greater than 0.1 on the Y, I believe. Okay, so the top one is Y, the bottom ones are X. These two are X. 0.1 and less than negative 0.1. And then we set it to negative 90 and then 90, and that's what creates the rotation. I can't remember if I went over that or not before. But I'll get to the other stuff later. I actually had a request to finish up the moving from planet to planet, so I wanted to kind of showcase that. Alright, so we'll move right to that. I'll kind of show how I set it up here. When I have a little bit more time, I'll actually go through one by one and I'll clean it up. So before, let me open this back up again. Before we had it set up, on event begin play in our character, we get all actors of class planet main, get 0, and then we set that planet bar. Instead of doing that, what we want to do is we want to, on event begin play, we want to check if the planet bar is valid, but first what you want to do is you want to grab your planet BP bar and make it an array. You will get an error, just go ahead and hit continue, and we'll fix the error in a minute. So once you make that a variable, or an array, excuse me, grab the variable, get 0, and then plug it into the is valid. If it's not valid, you want to get all actors of class, make sure it's planet main, and then plug a for each loop into the out actors in array. Just hit F and click, and you'll get a for each loop. And then on loop body, you want to do an add node. So you grab your variable again, drag off of it, type add, and it's this one right here. And you add that. Make sure array element goes into the bottom one. And then on complete, you want to set the timers by function name. And then if this value is valid, we want to go over and set the timers again. So once that's set up, come down here to our get surface location, and you want to delete the old variable and set this up. Create a new integer variable. Right over here, click closest planet, plug that into the get, and then plug it into the surface location at normal. And that is all you need to do for this. So then you recreate the planet BP ship from my previous tutorial. Again, like I said, I'm going to go step by step. I just want to show how this is done, so um, it can be taken care of later. So basically, we have our thrust, yaw, whatever, all that set up like we did before. You want to do an overlap on the overlap area, which is the box collision that we have in the viewport here. So click on that, scroll down, and you'll see on component begin overlap, and click the plus sign, it'll create this. Okay, so off of other actor, you want to get class, and then drag off of the return, just do 2 equal signs and equal, and then make sure it's the planet main class that you select. Plug that into a branch, and then create another variable for now called detect planet, and that's Boolean. And then you drag off the branch with that selected, get a player variable, and you could do the player variable by event begin play, drag off, do third person character 2 or whatever you named your character as. Get player pawn, right here you just drag off. Pawn, it's right here. And then just right click on this and promote to variable. This will pop up and just name it player 1. So then once that's done, you drag off, and then you want to set closest planet. And then set the value to 1 for now. And then again, just to make things a little bit easier on yourself to test it out, just set the simulate physics on the ship mesh here, right here. Just set it to false. Okay. We gotta add something to planet main also. So add component, and you want a sphere collision right here. Once you add that, go under the construction script, and then just grab your sphere collision, and then set world scale 3D. Then drag off this conversion node here, do an add node, and then promote this right here to a variable. And then make sure to make it public, and then plug that into the new scale. We'll go back here. Don't worry about this right now. And yeah, okay, so now what we need to do is set up the actual possessing of the different characters. So in the level, you should have the ship itself in the level. Just go into your content browser, grab your ship and drag it out, and then with it selected, go into the level blueprint, which this is. To access that, you open blueprints here, open level blueprint. Alright, and then what you want to do, right click, create reference to BP ship, and then right click, hit T or whatever you want it to be at, select that, that'll create this node here. And then on pressed, you need to get player controller, and then drag off that and type possess. Okay, and then the target is the player controller. The in pawn is the BP ship that you created, so in pawn there. And then you want to drag off here, and then get ship mesh, and then drag on set simulate physics and set them to true again. Okay, and then you want to create a event begin play right here. Cast a third person character 2, get player pawn, and then promote this guy to the variable again, and then name it just player char. And then you want to do like U, that'll give you that node, And the same thing you did up here. You want to get player controller, possess, and then have the in pawn as the player character. And that should be everything, I believe. Other than the simple go into the actual level in the content browser, and then just drag out your planet and set it to wherever you need it to be. And then we'll hit play, and this won't be perfect, but it'll work. So when I hit T, I am now possessing my ship, and I could fly over here, and as soon as I collide with it, it's going to stop. So press U, and now I am on the other planet. And then what you can do, if you have multiple planets, let's say, okay, let's add in, and there is an error. This is just kind of testing to show how this system will work. And you know what I'm going to do real quick, just to kind of show that this is working.
I think Blake is one of them there. No, not possible, sir. They were best friends. Yeah. Remember they beat the crap out of each other Friday night.
I'm sorry, I just got kind of thrown off here.
You were there. Yes, sir, but it's not what you
Let me
think.
close this one.
Tossed a couple punches.
Don't save.
We broke it up. An hour later they were
Okay,
drinking beer.
so now
Does that look like a couple of punches to you?
I want to
His neck is
grab
snapped
this. You don't have to do this. This is just for me showing. Set material,
in half. What was
and
the
that's
fight
element 0. And then I'm going to promote this to a variable. Match planet. Compile. Make that public. Save. And by default, I'm going to have it as the ground mouse. But this way in the level, I can change this one to like map planet, so it's different. So then we'll go here. I'll go over here. I'll stop, hit U. I'm on this planet. Then I hit T again.
According to them, no one. Only the Red Sun members.
First rule of Fight Club, never talk about Fight Club. God, it's a great movie.
Then,
Brad Pitt, Edward Norton. It's like the greatest guy movie.
and if I could figure out how to fly my ship here.
They're either lying, or one of them is a hacker that led us to the group.
Find them. Boss.
And then
Find my
I hit
hacker yet?
U.
No, but poor Proby.
You think he needs a group hug?
And I didn't actually get
I
the
found Blake.
thing. Try it again. And let's see why I did it.
Monitoring the campus Wi-Fi and I was waiting for the hacker to come
Okay,
back
so
online.
it does it
That's when I thought
for the
of
first two, but not the
Searched
third one.
Blake's room. He had the docking
So
station for an Exum X5 handheld computer, but
that'll
the unit
be
itself was not in his room.
And they're like
over here, I believe.
He probably took it with him.
Ah, and I know exactly why. Okay, so when we're over here, I have it set just kind of a default deal here. So actually we can, this will get the immediate instance of it. So what we can actually do is a planet main. I'm going to add one more variable. Planet num. And this is something that could be like automated, but for right now, I'm going to give each one its own value. So this one will be 0, this one will be 1, this one will be 2. Now, I'll go into the BB ship, and I will cast to planet underscore main. We want to do this, and then we want to get planet num. Plug that into there, right into there. And let's see how that works. Okay, so I'm going to hit T,
It's a
I'm
body.
gonna go test this guy over here.
So laying face down, this is where the head should be.
Okay, steps. You. Come on here. Hit T.
This is now a crime scene.
Go over here. Hit you. And now I'm on this one.
It's not lying face
And then
down.
if we want to go back to this one, just fly over to it, and now we're over here. Obviously the system needs a lot of work, but for right now it kind of shows the overall process. And these errors is because we're turning off the simulate physics right here, so we don't actually collide with the planet and the ship goes all crazy. But this could be where you turn off physics and then like play landing animation. Um, and this would play the landing animation, set the location of the ship, and then get the player out of the ship or something like that. So cool. So thank you. I apologize for all the background noise, but this will have to do right now until I get more time to actually go through the system. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.